G'day and welcome to Down Under Sports, where we talk all sports just down under. I'm your host, Christopher Spreezy, and I'm joined with
Andrew Theo. Good to be back, mate.
did you have a good week?
Good week, plenty to talk about.
That's true. Let's get into it. And a special guest on tonight. I've been wanting to have him on for a long time, Mr. Anth Angelop.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on. I'm really looking forward to it.
Really excited to do this tonight.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, shall we?
I think we should start with Manchester United. What do you think, Chris?
I mean, did anyone expect us to beat Tottenham and Man City?
Absolutely not. I mean, they were the underdogs and it was a great performance by them. As much as I don't like seeing United do well, I was probably a little bit happy that they
beat
won.
City?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was cheering on Manchester United, as weird as that might sound. And, being at the Etihad, I thought there was no chance that United would get even a draw. So, very happy with that in the end.
Well, I'm the Man United fan here, and I've got to say I was not expecting to beat Tottenham and City. It was a great week for us. The first half against City, we had chances to be 4-5-0 up.
It was a pretty comprehensive performance.
It was that first half especially, and I was getting a bit worried there when having all these chances and we couldn't convert any of them. And then once we got that penalty, we settled in and. Martial, I mean, that strike to make it 2-0 was fantastic. Our defense was very strong. Wan-Bissaka, for me, was the man of the match. But for the first time in many years, I feel like we were playing the Manchester United style of old, like 2007, 2008, when Ronaldo just, doing magical things, dominated. Rooney. It was like a throwback to that, and I'm very happy with how we played.
I think for the first time in a long time, it was actually enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
And that first half performance, like you said, could have easily been 4-0 by half time. And you're probably thinking that with all these chances, is it still not going to be our day? But in the end, it worked out to be. So good performance in the end. And let's just hope for your sake that continues.
Definitely.
Chris, can I ask you, has it changed your opinion on Ole? Do you still want him out, or what's the go?
Oh yeah, I mean 1 week doesn't change anything for me. I still want Poch in, but I think with the 2 wins we had this week, I think Ole's safe until the summer.
You should buy him a bit of time, you reckon?
Yeah, definitely buys a bit of time this week. But I don't want him to continue on next season. But I think he's safe until the summer. What about you guys?
Yeah, it definitely gives him that bit of leeway. The last couple of weeks have been really good for him, and hopefully he can just continue that, keep him safe.
So let me ask you guys this question. I ask it every week, but I think it's safe to ask it again. Is the title race over?
Well, I think you guys know my opinion on it. I absolutely don't think it's over.
You don't?
Absolutely not. Being a Liverpool supporter for all these years, you can never think it's done, and we never do anything the easy way. Although there is a bit of a lead right now, I just don't think it's going to come right down to the wire as it always does.
It's 8 points though.
Nah, Liverpool never do anything easy. We always do it the hard way. We're never going to cruise through. I hope we do. I hope we do. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
Personally, I've been telling you the whole season that it's not over. I think this is the week where I changed my mind. It's over.
Oh!
It's officially over.
Wow!
And there is a contrast.
It's officially over,
There is a contrasting opinion here, and people will say Leicester on our tail, but 14 points ahead of Manchester City is enough for me.
Hang on a minute, but you guys are facing Leicester in a few weeks, and they're only 8 points clear. If they win and make it 5 points clear, the title race is still on.
That's exactly right, Chris, and I think pressure does crazy things to people as well. The pressure of years of expectation and wanting
being
to win
so
the title,
close last
being
season.
so close, exactly right. 5 points can turn around just like that, and you never know what can happen. A couple of injuries. Leicester been pretty good with their injuries. Liverpool not so much, but you never know what's around the corner.
Well, for me, you see that we've hit an injury. You got Fabinho out. We've got a few players out. We're resting players like Salah. We've got players like Oxlade coming in. We've got players like Divock coming in. They're doing the job.
They are.
This time last season, we're thinking, okay, we've got an 11 and that's it. And we're managing to rotate our players, keep them fresh. So for me, Jurgen Klopp's got this perfectly, and that's the reason why I'm sticking to my opinion. And also the fact that Leicester City will be playing at the Etihad before they play us. So this could potentially be another widening of the gap. So if Manchester City take all 3 points against Leicester...
That's what you're hoping for, isn't it?
That's what I'm hoping. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a draw would be ideal. But let's just say Manchester City get the win. We would be 11 points clear of Man City. and 11 points clear of Leicester.
Mhm.
That for me is a big enough gap to close out the title.
I agree. If it gets to anything over 10, it's probably safe. But until that happens,
So are you saying that right now you're not worried about Manchester City? Is 14 points too big of a gap for Manchester City?
I think Manchester City.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think their defence lacks a little bit. They've lost a little bit of leadership with no company there. Although he probably wasn't their best defender necessarily, he was definitely their best leader and organiser.
Yep.
And it's a massive difference for them not to.
And
have
he
him
was
there.
the one in the end that won in the league last year.
Well, that's right. Great strike. Exactly right.
But you're saying that Leicester is our competition right now. That's what you're trying to say.
I think so. I think a team with the best defensive record in the league has to be. You can't ignore that. We all know defences win titles, and I think they are really being underestimated by everyone there.
So, Leicester, the best defensive record in the league. Does that scare you a bit?
It does, especially when we have to come up against them.
Boxing Day, is it Boxing Day?
Yeah, look, I'll be happy with the 0-0 draw. You know.
Yeah, look, the King Power Stadium's it's a tough place to visit.
Yeah.
I mean, with the lead we have, we can probably afford to have a draw, but I mean, you can't go into any game expecting not to win, and they have to play like that. They have to play to win, and see how it goes. I think that Leicester have been doing really well, and I think only maybe the last couple of weeks people have been starting to notice them, especially with City dropping off.
I just want to say, Vardy's just banging him in. 25 goals in 26 games. I mean, he's
since Rodgers has taken over, he's been on fire.
Yeah.
He has, and we've seen what he looked like in that season where they won the league,
30
even at that age.
32 years of old, you think he's slowing down, but he's playing as best as he's ever played.
Just quietly, I really appreciate him as a player, and I'm really happy to see them do well, but let's just hope for our sake it's not that well enough to take it away.
It's an amazing story of Vardy if you think about it. He was playing non-league at 25 years old, not that long ago.
Yeah.
And he's nearly scored 100 Premier League goals, won the title.
Won the league, yeah.
And, you know, he may have sort of dropped off the last couple of years, but he's definitely back this year for sure.
Yeah.
So moving on to Man City, lads. Anything you want to add to that?
Oh, Chris, don't get me started on City. I'm not a big fan of Pep and his sob stories.
Oh, yeah.
I think there was a quote that he said this week: Liverpool, Manchester United, Barca, Madrid, and Juve. They are the teams we have to face, and the reality is, maybe we're not able to compete with them.
That's crazy.
Absolutely nuts.
He's been given a blank check,
right.
and you say,
So whoever he
"Give
wants.
me, I want this player," and they give it to him. He's got the money, he's got the resources. What is he on about?
He's got $60 million left back sitting on the bench who doesn't even play. So it's all a mind game. It's all trying to play the underdog and take the pressure off his team and their underperformance this year.
Yep.
And he'll always do it. And if they get closer to Liverpool, he'll put the pressure back on Liverpool. It's what he does. He's obviously very good at it. But don't buy into the hype at all with Pep.
Desperate times call for desperate measures with him, and he's known that he's out of it, so he's going to try all he can.
Let me ask you this. Will he be in charge of Man City next season?
Oh, absolutely.
You think so?
There's no doubt about it.
Look, I think he's got the runs on the board, unless the only reason he wouldn't be is if he doesn't want to be.
Yep.
If he wants a new challenge, he wants to go somewhere else.
Because he doesn't normally stay at places long. You know, Bayern Munich stayed a few years, Barca stayed a few years. He likes changing, mixing it up. I personally think he'll be there next season, but we'll wait and see, shall we?
Yeah, that's right.
If you're the owners of Manchester City, you'd be stupid to let him go.
Oh, definitely.
Just because
I'm not saying he's going to get the sack. I'm saying, does he want to be there?
That's purely down to him in the end. Moving on from Manchester City, we know that Emery got the sack.
Yes.
We know that Everton got sacked their manager too. Are we thinking that perhaps maybe Emery could be moving on and going to the other side of Merseyside?
Look, I personally don't see the logic in it.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Hasn't performed at Arsenal with a fairly decent budget and good resources. I don't think it's going to help Everton.
Yep.
Although being a Liverpool supporter, I wouldn't mind it because
that's cheeky.
I wouldn't care if he went there and ripped the place down. Doesn't bother me. But if I was an Everton supporter, I wouldn't want to see him anywhere near the
job. I don't think that's going to happen, as Anth mentioned.
So who goes to Everton?
David Moyes.
I like that.
He had the best success there. I think he's going to go back, and I think
bring back his reputation.
I think he'll be welcomed back too.
Of course. Yeah. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, look, I think it makes sense. I think Everton, with the money they have backing them, they might aim a little bit higher, maybe a Pochettino or something like that. I just don't think they'll go absolutely.
You've got to be optimistic.
I don't think there's no chance in hell that Poch will end up at Everton.
They've spent a lot of money at that club in the last couple of years with not much result at all. So
they've got a lot of Barca rejects too, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
You know, the defender. They got who's the guy that plays for Portugal, the midfielder?
Andre Gomez.
That's
He's the one that
Broke his
injured
leg.
his leg. He'd been out for a while,
Yes.
but yeah, they do have the talent there. Then they just need the right man
they
for the
got
job.
some talented players, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Liga, shall we?
Yes.
Barcelona.
Yeah, it's a tight race over there, isn't it?
It is. I think they both level on 34 points, Real Madrid and Barca. But look, Messi's just keeping Barca in the title race. Another hat trick.
He really is. He's doing great for them. But as I said, I think Zidane's done a great job at Real Madrid, and I think Benzema's sort of come back into the fold, and he's doing really well. And they've got a couple of youngsters running around that are making a bit of...
Benzema's been waiting for this moment for a long time. To become that main man, and he's taken it with him. So good to see that.
Let me ask you this: has Hazard disappointed in his first season?
Absolutely.
He hasn't
absolutely.
done much, has he?
He's done absolutely nothing. I don't know if he thought it was all sort of going to happen when he got there and it was all going to be pretty easy, but I think he came out of shape back to pre-season, which obviously
chubby,
in any sport you come back from pre-season in bad shape, you're not going to start well, and it's sort of obviously snowballed from there, and he is where he is now. I think he's actually injured at the moment.
Well, this is the biggest move of his career. You can't, rock
It was
up
his
your
dream,
first training session 5 kilos heavier.
It was his dream transfer.
I've been saying that give him time, but I think we've reached that point now where it's just like, all right, well,
he's almost got to be labelled a bad transfer now, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Is this the end of Diego Simeone at Atletico? Well, I mean, they're 7th at the minute. They're not doing well at all.
Look, to me, I think it might be. I think every
change is coming.
Every coach has their time. You look at someone like Klopp at Dortmund. He had some really good results, and then towards the end, it sort of dropped off, and they knew his time was done. And it seems to be pretty similar here with Simeone.
Agreed.
I think that they've been up there amongst the top 3 for so long, and to be 7th this far into the season, it's not a good look. He wanted to leave a couple of seasons ago, so maybe that now this is his time to just move on, and I don't know, hopefully take a job in a different country and just make a fresh start. And I think he's up there amongst the best managers, but something has just plateaued, as you like to say.
Plateaued, definitely.
And he just probably needs to move on like Griezmann did.
I mean, they came so close to win the Champions League, didn't they? And their bitter arch rival Real Madrid got the win. I think both occasions. I think they played both for the finals. But
they did end up winning the league.
They did.
Something they did achieve with him.
I think probably the one thing that they lack, the last sort of 18 months or so they had previously was a good striker. Over the years,
Griezmann's out.
You've had Griezmann there. You've had Falcao, Torres back in the day, Forlan. They've always had a good strike force, and Morata just is not that.
Diego Costa.
At least he's not the Morata of Chelsea.
Yes,
you could say that.
That's true.
But you're right. Right now, they don't have much of that dangerous forward.
So I think this will be his final season at Atletico. You think he's out?
Absolutely.
I think he'll be out too. I think the real question is now where does he go? Where would you want to go if you were Diego?
I think he'll have a few options open if he gets the sack. But I think we can all agree this will be his final season at Atletico. Let's move on to Italy, shall we?
My boys Inter.
On top of the table.
Your boys are Andrew.
Yeah, from the start of the show, me and Chris were talking about how our predictions for the season went, and I said that Inter would win the league.
Yep.
And that run of Juventus winning the league, and like we all say, Juventus don't want to win the league as badly as they want to win the Champions League. And for me, that was the reason why I think Inter could push up this year and take it. But look, they're on top. They've had some good results recently, and let's just see if that continues to go for them.
Yeah, look, they're doing really well, as you sort of alluded to, Andrew. I think Juventus's focus is probably not on the league anymore. I'm not convinced about Sarri as a coach as well, but I think they've won the league that many times. It's all about the Champions League for them. I think they may have, if my memory serves me correct, I'm pretty sure they've already qualified for the knockout stages, so they don't have to worry about that. And it's just all systems go for the Champions League, I think.
Can they do it though?
Look, any team with Cristiano Ronaldo in their team is as good a chance as anyone. I think Dybala's been in fantastic form this year.
He's really taken it up a notch, hasn't he?
He really has. I'm just not convinced about Sarri. I wasn't convinced about Sarri at Chelsea. He's okay. He's nothing fantastic, and he just is not playing the same free-flowing football as Allegri did. Absolutely.
So last week they drew 2-2, and this weekend. They lost 3-1 to Lazio.
Yeah, pretty disappointing.
Pretty disappointing.
The Juventus team should not be losing to Lazio.
Especially with Ronaldo playing.
Exactly right.
Like I said before, I don't think Ronaldo will be there next season. I think he will go to a different club. Which club? I'm not sure. My wild guess is PSG, but that's a discussion for another day. Where shall we go now? Ange Postecoglou
Oh, how great is
wins
that?
the Japanese league.
So good. Big Ange.
You love to see it, don't you?
Absolutely. You know, Ange, if you guys remember in the end of his Australian tenure, he was absolutely ridiculed by the media, almost forced it.
And he won the Asian Cup.
Won the Asian Cup, got them to the World Cup. All he wanted to do was bring young players in.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted them to nurture them and get the new generation in, but we were focused on still playing these bloody Mark Milligans of the world that had been there and done that just to get to the next World Cup. And sometimes, you know, the short-term gain is not worth it. He was looking at the bigger picture. He's won the league how many times now? 4 or 5 times in Australia, in the A-League. He's gone into Japan now. I think it's only up for Ange. I hope he goes overseas and gets a gig maybe in the Championship or something like that.
Up. Yep.
I think he's got all the tools to do it, and he's proved it. I mean, managing a club that he had to communicate via translator.
That's hard enough as it is.
Still winning the league says it all of how good he is.
Definitely.
Yep, I agree completely.
I think David Gallup should get the sack.
Oh, absolutely.
Just pathetic from
Terrible management, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, terrible. It was just the way the whole situation was handled was rather forgettable. But congrats to Ange.
Yeah,
good
on him.
Congrats, here at Down Under Sports, and like Anth alluded to, hope it goes upward for you. They really didn't treat him with the respect he deserved. That's about it for tonight. Anything else you want to add, lads?
No, I think it was a pretty comprehensive show and really, really interesting to go through all that.
Let's just see what happens in the month of December. There's a lot to come and plenty to talk about.
And hopefully a few Leicester wins and a few Liverpool losses.
We'll see about that.
Where can people find you?
As I always say, I still don't know how to say my Instagram name, but I'll leave it in the link below, and same as our Down Under Sports page as well.
Great.
So
and
you can find
Thanks for being on the show. You're welcome anytime you want. Where can people find you?
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Chris,
no.
I'm just getting used to the whole thing.
No, that's fine.
So you can find me on Twitter, Anth_Angelop, and if you don't know the spelling, it'll be in the link below.
No worries. Guys, you can find me on Instagram, Christopher Spreezy, and please, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you all next week. Have a great week, and see you later.